We have this panel of experts and Major Bakshi, Major Vishal Bakshi, Managing Director from V.R.Industries Private Limited. We have Ms. Deepti Gulati, Industry Chair Professor from NIFTEM. We have Ms. Sujatha Jayaraman, Head R&D Beverages and Nutrition, R&D South Asia Division from Hindustan Unilever. We have Mr. Vivek Arora, Senior Advisor for India Access to Nutrition Initiative. He is our Honorable Moderator. We have Ms. Chayaa Nanjappa, Founder and Managing Partner from Nectar Fresh Foods, and Dr. Radhesham Dixit, Founder and Chairman from Ananda Dairy. So while we wait briefly for our expert panel members to come in, had a quick brief and quick intro on the key experts who are going to talk on the sessions. Panel members, however, I am going to reintroduce all of you to the entire audience. And ladies and gentlemen, please, big round of applause when we introduce our panel members to all of you. In the order of the sequence, we have Mr. Manas Mishra, Deputy General Manager, Corporate Quality from Patanjali Foods. A big round of applause to Manas ji.
Manas ji is not here. We are waiting for you.
Oh, he's not yet joined in? All right. So I think we'll have to wait for Manas ji to just join in. We have Mr. Anil Bhutani, Business Head from Ananda Dairy, joining in on behalf of Dr. Radhesham Dixit, Founder and Chairman from Ananda Dairy. We have Ms. Chayaa Nanjappa, Founder and Managing Partner from Nectar Fresh Foods. We have Mr. Vivek Arora, Senior Advisor, India Access to Nutrition Initiative. We have Ms. Sujatha Jayaraman, Head R&D Beverages and Nutrition Department, R&D South Asia from Hindustan Unilever. Ms. Deepti Gulati, Industry Chair Professor from NIFTEM, and Major Vishal Bakshi, Managing Director, V.R.Industries Private Limited. A big round of applause for all of the honorable panel that we have here. And ladies and gentlemen, we are looking for a great session from all of you. So all over to you, and looking to have a fantastic panel session to sum up the entire day one of the India Food Safety and Nutrition Summit. All over to you.
Thank you. So can you hear me? At the back, I think I can see people in the end. Can you hear us? Right. So discussing on the future of nutrition industry, and I want to begin with what is nutrition. It's a complicated subject, and if you want to simplify nutrition, you can say whatever nutrition you want, you can achieve that from foods. Now, if that would have been so simple, we would not have this nutrition industry altogether. So what happens when you cannot get all your nutrition from food? So there are macronutrients, there are micronutrients that you get from food, fruits, vegetables. What happens that you are not able to get the required nutrition? There can be different factors. One can be that you need to consume that product in a certain amount which you cannot consume in a normal food consumption, because we are all cautious about our health. We don't want to consume that product in that amount. So that can be one reason. Second, it can be the climate change, the nutrition provided by that particular food. There was a study, and it said that whatever an apple, the nutrition that was being provided, say 20 years back, today you only get 1/4 of the nutrition. So that means you need to eat 4 apples to get the same nutrition. So how can you compensate that? We are using chemicals, we are using fertilizers, we are taking 3 crops in a year. Now, if the soil will provide you 3 crops in a year, it will not provide you the same micronutrients which it will provide when you will take 1 crop. I had a very good example from Argentina when I visited Argentina, and what they do is, after the crop is taken, वो कटाई करके they leave it in the field and then again plow it for the next, but they only take one crop in a year. What we do here, we burn it and we are facing it in Delhi. So it is all related. And when it is, the climate is also related, when what is provided by the soil is also related, the subject as a nutrition becomes complicated. Now, if you look at the soil, if the soil is not able to provide you with the right micronutrients, then there is a deficiency of micronutrients in the population. We hear about vitamin A and D deficiency. We hear about iron, folic acid, B12 deficiency. So how can these deficiencies be compensated? That will be my first question to Ms. Deepti Gulati. She is an expert and she has spent almost more than, I think, 35, 40 years in this field. And so basically, I would ask Deepti ma'am about micronutrients, how that can be compensated by fortifying the foods. In 2016, FSSAI came out with standards and they allowed these micronutrients to be added to 5 staples. They came out with standards for processed food fortification also in 2020, where certain breakfast cereals, baked products, and fruit juices were allowed to be fortified. Now that was done for a cause. I go on to Deepti ma'am to explain us what has happened since the standards were laid and how do you look at the future. How can more fortified products be provided to people to reduce this micronutrient deficiency?
Thank you so much, Vivek. Can you hear me? Okay. Why fortification is the first question. You are all from the industry, yet I'm stating this because when we do an analysis of what people are consuming and what they should be consuming, we find a big gap. What we find is that the consumption of fruits and vegetables is relatively much less than what is recommended to be consumed for a healthier life. But the consumption of staples, which is rice, wheat flour, oil, milk, and salt, this remains constant. Because people do need to eat to be not hungry. And whether that food is healthy or not becomes a second question. Now, I am a nutritionist and I've been working for 45 years, I'm ancient. What we do recommend always is that the diversified diet is the best. That take lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, dals, milk products, and cereals. But what actually happens is that due to whatever reason, and most importantly the economic reasons, the consumption of fruits and vegetables is much less. But because staples are being consumed, then can something be done with the staples so that the nutrition of these staples increases and the body benefits whoever is consuming? Hence, the concept of fortification came in almost 105 years back when people started in different countries, started adding iron, folic acid, and B12 to staples like rice and wheat flour, vitamin A and D to oil and milk, and iodine to salt. In our country, iodine to salt started way back in 1962, and it became mandatory in 1971. And now all the salt that you find is iodized salt. But though Government of India has been recommending for fortified foods since 2006, it has not found a lot of traction. Then government got down the regulation. Now the regulation has laid down the standards for fortification of staples, but it is my hand-folded request to all the industry partners here that fortification is very, very cost-effective. Please start adding micronutrients to food. It does not cost much. It is as little as 2 paisa to 3 paisa in milk per liter, about 10 paisa in oil per liter. It is about 5 paisa in wheat flour per liter, and about 40 to 45 paisa per kg in rice. That is something that industry can take it up as a cause, because when we start fortifying these staples and people consume these, whether they know or they don't know they are fortified, people consume, and when they consume, it benefits. It has brought down the anemia levels in Rajasthan by about 7%, and because the entire edible oil industry in Rajasthan started fortifying oil, the vitamin A deficiency came down to just 1.5% in children. And that's all hats off to the industry partners who participated. And that's where I say fortification does make a difference. Let's eat right, let's eat fortified, and we need your support.
Thank you, Deepti ji. And thank you for sharing about fortification of staples. In 2020, the standards also came in for fortification of processed food, where cereal products, baked goods, and fruit juices were allowed to be fortified. I move on to my next panelist, Mr. Bakshi, who heads an organization. I would like to know from him, and they make cereal products, so I would like to know from him that while designing the products, what care do they take, to see that the products are more nutritious, and how does he feel that is the future for such products in the Indian market?
Good afternoon, everyone. To begin with, the biggest challenge that we face in India is the awareness. India is a vast country with extreme choice of taste and preferences. While we make breakfast cereals, we make cornflakes, porridge, muesli, oats, nuts, millets with the brand name of 8 AM. The challenges we face is while we are educating people, we ensure that we tell people, children, adults, middle-aged, old age, the benefits of eating healthy, eating right. The love for samosas doesn't go away. The love for jalebi doesn't go away. The love for paratha doesn't go away. The love for chana bhatura doesn't go away. So first step is for us to understand what is healthy eating. That's one. Secondly, I again repeat, I think it's a mandate to be picked up by every state individually, how to promote healthy eating in their states. Healthy eating should be initiated from the government school level. Children, we are one of the only country with the largest, youngest population. Our youth today are fantastic and they need to be given the right nutrition. Yes, in the last few years, many companies have taken this mandate to ensure and make it public to individuals or group of people the benefits of healthy eating. लेकिन उसको समझना, उसको अपनाना बहुत ज़रूरी है. So that's point number one. Us as an industry, there are huge opportunities. For example, people these days, and especially youngsters, are becoming gluten tolerant. So they have come up with issues of celiac problems. So there is a huge opportunity for them to now being offered a gluten-free diet, which was never existing or available in our country few years ago. Or people were not even aware that, they have gluten issues. Similarly, the kind of lifestyles we have, people are becoming diabetic day by day. They are getting into hypertension day by day. Sodium, which is salt, plays a very, very important role. If you look at the American FDA laws, most of the companies have been told to reduce the sodium percentage less than 2% or 1% into their packed food categories. So considering these factors, all of us know ye acha hai, ye galat hai, ye bura hai, lekin how many of us adapt that? So I personally feel the biggest challenge is not producing a product. It's possible. The government, the companies, the media is promoting, doing everything possible to create a platform for healthier product. Producers are taking adequate steps to make perfect product. But making our end consumer aware, आवाम को ये बताना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि इसके खाने के फ़ायदे क्या हैं. ये ज़रूरी नहीं है कि जब डॉक्टर लिख के देगा कि देखिए अब आप 50 के हो गए हैं, 55 के हो गए हैं, 60 के हो गए हैं, आपको कोलेस्ट्रॉल है, आपको डायबिटीज़ है, तो ही हम ये खाना खाएंगे. उसको हम आज खाना शुरू करें. So if we do this today, I think we're in a much healthier position.
Thank you. And basically talking about healthy foods, you also moving on from cereal products, I move on to Chayaa ji because there are alternatives when you talked about gluten-free. There are alternatives to cereals which are gluten-free. And I move on to Chayaa ji to, share her thoughts. One, on the alternative ingredients that are available to produce cereal-based products. Also, throw some light on the demand generation. When he talked about the people should be aware. Now, you can produce a product. You also run an NGO. So how do you create awareness? How do you create the demand generation that the people ask for healthy food so that they can be consumed? Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Namaste, everyone. I run one of the successful unit of the Khadi Commission, and many ask, how did the brand grow without a budget for marketing? My budget for marketing, there's hardly any budget. I would say it is consistent quality and importance given to the quality of the product. It could be about nutrition and just health and wellness products. Currently, I closely work with the tribal community in Bharat, and I take care of around 1,500 small farmers and tribals. As one of the very large buyer of, I could be the largest buyer of tribal honey in the country today. What I notice is the tribal areas, they're all actually very healthy. It's only the past few years, their health, I'm not talking of extremely weaker sections. They use peri-peri chilies, which don't get you acidity. They use wild fruits, which are highly nutritious. They have moringa powder, which they consume. Honey, the best, it is not even anywhere affected with pesticide or anything with it. But they've of late, it's been the influence like how all of us in India's cities have. They've got into, fast foods. That's where they have been affected. Just to empower them, we thought we take care of large number of small farmers. That is where, to bring an additional source of income, we started asking them to grow chia and flax seeds. And we also have a mixed seed called seed cocktail, which is a healthy snacking one. We brought an additional source to the farmers, income there, and then started promoting our health and wellness products. In spite of being a social enterprise, I don't run an NGO, so it's a social enterprise. I grew during COVID. And the reason for me to grow during COVID is to diversify into superfoods. Earlier, we were only into honey, jams without preservative, color or flavor. I'm trying for natural jams without sugar, and I've not moved to that because we don't have technology transfers available on sugar-free jams in Bharat. I tell our senior people that Atmanirbhar should start from here. We should not be taking technologies from other countries. So along with that, we started apple cider and mother vinegar. With that, moringa powder, and then we have turmeric with high curcumin from the northeast. But during the time, we thought of our small farmers and made them grow chia and flax. And today, we are a very significant players in superfoods in the country. How we did it? Consistent quality and people getting aware what is new from the brand. This can come only with quality and ethics in business. If someone is looking at a spontaneous growth, it just can't happen. We walk our talk as a social enterprise from maybe the first year, the first month I started, I was wondering where could I sell my 500 kilos. Today, a social enterprise that is completely giving back to society, a capacity per month is 300 tons a month. So that is where I think with quality, with a consistent supply, meeting deadlines on time, that is where we have made a difference from rural Bharat. And I think we overcome all challenges to succeed when we are determined and focused. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chayaa for sharing your thoughts. You talked about superfoods, you talked about chia seeds, you talked about flax seeds. This brings me to the thought that, nutrition is expensive. When you talk about affordability, how the masses in the country can afford nutrition. Now, when we talk about these flax seeds and chia seeds or forest honey, believe me, I can afford it, but given a choice, I will say, why to pay 4 times for a forest honey? So, does the population which is going through this issue of macro and micronutrient deficiencies, how can they overcome? I move on to Sujatha ji. She represents the largest FMCG manufacturer, Hindustan Unilever. And I would like to ask you that when you produce products for your masses, how do you take care that, they are affordable? One, first, they have to be nutritious. What care do you take? How do you make them affordable? Also, how do you make them accessible to the population across India? Over to you, Sujatha ji.
Thank you, Mr. Vivek. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy to be part of this esteemed panel. I strongly believe making a nutritious food accessible and affordable to everyone is a commitment to all of us, whether it is government or whether it is industry or NGO or anybody working in the food technologies or nutrition science. And industry like us, for example, Hindustan Unilever products, 1 in 9 households use at least one of our products every day. So companies like us can make a huge difference, and we are committed to making that difference. First, Vivek, you asked a question, how do we make our product nutritious? So many of you spoke about what we need to do, and something that as HUL we are committed to is we have something called Future Food Commitment that we have made, where we have said 70% of our portfolio will be formulated to meet highest nutrition standards. These highest nutrition standards are scientifically and rigorously designed standards by Hindustan Unilever and based on WHO standards. And then the second one, we have also said we will double the portfolio that is fortified with 1 or more micronutrients, and that addresses what Madam has been speaking about. And of course, we have how much energy we need to deliver per portion across our entire products. We have designed many, many guardrails for every one of the product that we make, and that's how we ensure that we design products that are nutritious with fortified with both macro and micronutrients, and also we ensure they are having guardrails with where we continue our efforts to reduce salt and sugar into our product and calories and fat into our products so that consumers can make healthy choices. Now, how do we make, and one more thing that these are scientific nutrition standard that we have even published in Nutrients. And what is a compelling fact that I feel these are purposeful is when someone eats a product designed to these nutrition standards, they can reduce the consumption of salt, sugar per year by 5 kg and also by nearly a kg of salt per year. And that many more days you add to someone's life because their vulnerability to non-communicable diseases decreases. And this is the one is fortification, and another one is also reducing the nutrients of concern in the products that we sell. Now coming to the second element, how do we make it accessible and affordable? There are three ways in which we approach this. One is, how do we design products to the low LSM consumers? What is the design principle that we apply? So here, starting from, we try to look at deliver the taste, because it's a food. At the end, no one, very few will be willing to compromise taste for nutrition. So that is that's where technology come into play. How do we leverage technology to be able to design a product that is nutritious and also tasty? But we design in such a way that we reduce cost on the non-value adding items and put the cost into the taste and the nutrition element. For example, backward integration, so that we are sourcing, localizing all the ingredient sourcing. We are working with farmers to be able to improve yield. Like in tea, we work with farmers and help them in regenerative agriculture practices, which can increase the yield and reduce pesticide residues. In our Kisan ketchup, we are working with Chayaa farms to source more of regeneratively produced tomatoes. And then that's how we reduce cost and ensure when we design for highest nutrition standard, they are coming at no on cost to the consumers. So this is how we ensure affordability. Then the second element of affordability is also about price points. For example, Horlicks, which is or Boost, which is fortified with nearly 22 essential micronutrients. We deliver, we make packaging and SKUs, which cut across a wide range of price points, starting from ₹5 that anyone can afford to a multi-pack which a family can buy. So this is another way of ensuring the products which are have a functionality, a functional food. A common man is able to afford that by making this various different price point products, so that they are able to afford that. Then the third one is channel. Today, how can we leverage our distribution system and create new channels? So very delighted to share, we have specifically reaching rural India is very, very difficult. And that is where we have built a channel called Shakti Ammas. And these are the women entrepreneurs who are, we have nearly 200,000 these women entrepreneurs we are in rural India who help us selling our products. And of course, the last but not the least, price points, which I already covered. So this is the way we address design nutritious products, both through the everyday essential products, make them more and more nutritious through reformulations, and also through fortification to address the fortification that is required for that particular, the target consumer, and also the region in which the specific micronutrient deficiency that is prevalent, so that we are able to design for value to the consumer and make it accessible and affordable through the channels and the price points.
Thank you, Sujatha ji. Thank you for sharing your valuable insights. And when you talked about affordability, I would say the most affordable, nutritious food is milk, because it is available at a very low price point and it is available for the masses. We have Mr. Anil with us representing Ananda Dairy. I would specifically like to ask him, given there was a Spotlight India Index done by our company, Access to Nutrition Initiative, it's a foundation. So what we saw that when we assessed 20 top food and beverage companies in India, the top 7, out of the top 7, 6 were dairy companies. So we assessed them on healthiness of their product portfolio. So when we looked at the dairy companies, more than 40% of their product portfolio was found to be healthy, given the natural, milk being a healthier product. So I want to ask Mr. Anil that moving on from the natural healthy milk, what else can be considered to make the milk products more nutritious? That is one. Two, how this can be more affordable and accessible to the consumers.
Talking about dairy products, no doubt milk is the main component and being used and in every house and each member of the family. And one way or in another way, or direct way or indirect way, milk is being consumed daily in all the houses. Now, earlier when we were selling a milk, like in our organization, like Mother Dairy was there, we are selling almost 40 lakh liter of milk in NCR itself and 5 lakh liter of curd per day itself in NCR. So then we have a meeting with government officials and there was a pressure from government officials also to fortify the milk by vitamin A and E. And then industry definitely think about money. Now 2 paisa per liter was the cost, but management took a call, and when the group leaders like Amul and Mother Dairy took a call, others has to follow. And they started awareness with the customer by labeling on the pack itself. Instead of doing extra advertisements on a milk pouch itself, they started writing it on a big bold letter on a front side. It contains vitamin A and vitamin E, and definitely started sharing the benefits to the customer. And that's a way of communication we started, and it went well. Similarly, because that is a major component of a milk solids that we are distributing to the country people, and that we started Pan India also. And till today it's working. Even in our industry it's working. When we go to powders, it is by default like baby food, we have to fortify, there is no option. Even there was a suggestion to fortify tea whiteners also. So some companies have already started. Now they are talking about fortifying fermented products also, fermented cheese and paneer also. The milk acceptability is going very well. So others will follow very soon in future. You will see written on the pack itself. And definitely, a lot of people are getting now lactose intolerant also in the country now. In Europe and other things, we have seen lactose intolerance was a very common thing, but in India now it started with the food habits changing and the style of living changing, type of diseases are increasing here. So that's another thing which is coming. On the lactose-free milk also, very soon you will see on the shelf lactose-free milk coming, and especially for diabetic people. Because diabetes is increasing, so you need to take out the lactose. Basically, there are 2 components in SNF part, that is protein and lactose. So the more the protein part is there, lactose part is being taken out. So other dairy products also contain a very high protein. So milk itself as well as the dairy product itself are no doubt contains all nutrients. But yes, as sir was saying, Indians look for taste also, and they cannot leave their food habits. Let it be a heart specialist, still he loves samosas. He knows the side effect, but I have seen, but still. And now, no doubt the self-discipline is the one thing which has to bring by everybody. Everybody has to take care of its own health. Industry is doing, but yes, if you see pan-India, large-scale government schemes, another thing on pulses and rice, another thing, there is a political will required for that. Or till there is some disaster happens. Like for a salt that madam is talking about iodine, the goiter started spreading everywhere. So that was a disaster in the country. Then the medical history woke up, and then everybody made a compulsion. Till the disaster happened, nobody in the government, take Seriously. So that is the thing only. But yes, nutraceutical, it's a new challenge, new food. Things are changing, new customers are coming, people are becoming health conscious also. But side by side, still I personally feel, the type of food, the quality of what food you take, it is in your hands only. There are so many varieties available, it's your choice. Thanks a lot from my side.
Thank you. Thank you. And also, when I say, when sir says milk, if you look at 10 years back, our per capita availability was only 150 grams of or ml of milk per capita, which has now gone up to approximately 400. So we have almost tripled the per capita availability. And the milk prices, yes, over a period it has increased. With the inflation it will increase. But till date, I would say we have one of the cheapest milk available in the world. So thanks to the cooperative movement in India and thanks to the availability from the milk producers, it's providing a good nutrition to the population in India. Over to Mr. Manas, who represents the wellness guru. So he represents the organization Patanjali. And the focus, from you I would like to know, because Patanjali, when you hear the brand Patanjali, it's our culture, it's about wellness, it's about health. So what is your philosophy when you design the products, or when you introduce the products, or when you market the products? What is your philosophy? How do you take care that only nutritious food is being provided by the organization?
Okay, thank you, sir. So when it's matter of Patanjali, so in Patanjali we will say good, in universe we say good morning, good evening. So in Patanjali we used to say Om. So Om is a natural word which makes a sense of like from the heart. If you go for scientifically for these words, then it makes the blobs of the heart and it makes like more terms of breathing process. As a Patanjali, we are discussing about this fortification process, like about the cost and many more things are there. Patanjali is directly working on the low cost process first. Secondly, we are just focusing on the regression foods, which like for oils, we have already made the fortified, the Mahakosh, the one of the most highest selling brand of the India as an oil category. So we are just already fortified. The second category, which we are going is like cereals category. We are continuously working on the millets. So millets already have launched. We have the agreements with this FSSAI also to support these Anganwadi programs, Pushtahar programs, many more programs we are doing. As organizations, we are just working and elaborating and also escalating to the people's this right nutrition to the right peoples. Natural juices have this highest nutritions apart from this cereals category. Then if you go for the millet segments, then we go for the fortification. So these are the three main categories on which Patanjali is working. Natural juices, we are just giving to the humans for a diet consumptions like aloe vera, just having the highest vitamin C, vitamins A. Then we have this Grat Kumari, Shitopaladhi, and many more things are there, which is not easily available to the market. Although this is not direct food, but it's a supplement food. The one thing I was listening to the sir was saying, if you go for the FDA and all these exporting countries, then there's the regulation for the salt. India and Indian peoples are just not aware with this thing is going on here. If you export something to the European countries, then they have a regulation is for FDA and they have the regulation for the low acidified canned food or acidified canned food or high salted foods. So before exporting anything to the Europes or the European countries, you have to go for registrations, you have to go for the analytic protocols and their regulations also. But Indians, like, we love the taste buds. So as an organization, we are trying to give the taste with the trust with the nutrition. All three collaboration in the same process. by grace and by this organizational CSR's approach, we are already getting the things in the market. So you can be people, everybody who, like we are all industry experts, big brands we are here. So we are just giving all this many more juices, millets, nutritional supports, additional nutritional medicines, direct sources capsules, which are the supplements basically. There's no adulterations, no any food misguided use are there. So we are working on that progress way. Parallelly to that, we are just focusing to target these nutrition lack categories like lactalic women's. Then we have this childs which are in schools. So we are focusing these Anganwadi programs, post-start programs, what I told you. So that's where we are going to on that way.
Thank you, Manas. Yes, Deepti ji. But 1 minute because we are running short of time, so yeah.
I just want to say that government is very keen that whatever food is being prepared, that should be healthy, and that's why they have aaj se thoda kam. Low salt, low sugar, low fat. Of course, taste no one can compromise because everyone eats food not just to fill the hunger part of it, but feel happy about it. Because food is always associated with happiness. So food has to be tasty. Samosas and jalebis and gulab jamuns and chana bhaturas, they are not bad. Why they are considered as junk, as anyone may say, if we have too much of it. So food is always good. Food is delicious. Only thing is, what we need to exercise is moderation. And as a nutrition person, I can say, all food is good, no food is bad, moderation is the key. Secondly, when we are talking about fortification, I'm so happy to see so much of energy with respect to fortification. And here I want to add that if any organization, any food-based industry wants to get into fortification, then you can join a new concept that has been initiated by TechnoServe, one of the development sector partners, which is Millers for Nutrition. And in that, all the food industry partners can join hands and can be trained at no cost to the industry to develop good products. And I am only very, very grateful to you all for being here and also to our panel that you have listened to our experiences, and we hope to do a great job because in India, nutrition and food security cannot be achieved unless until industry joins. Because everything is in one way or the other processed. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Over to the audience. If there are any questions for the panelists, then we can take up questions. Any specific questions to the panelists?
Absolutely, and I think before we go to the questions, Vivek, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause for this wonderful panel here? Thank you so much, honorable panel members, for your wonderful contribution, and thank you so much, Vivek, for beautifully moderating the panel. Yes, we do open the floor for the questions, and please raise your hand and do introduce yourself and your organization first, and then the question to the specific panel member. If it is a generic question, I think Vivek is the right person to decide which panel member will take the question.
Yes, Abhijit Ghosh here from Born Nutrients, Born Industries, Ludhiana. About milk, the emergency per capita consumption has increased. There has been a lot of adulteration. The production, actual production of milk and the consumption, that does never tally. Also, that milk, the way is being generated nowadays by kinds of injection and all, by hormonal segregation and all. So how does it affect the food safety? We are talking about food safety security. Can anybody explain, please? It is a generic question. The production of milk can't be tallied with the consumption of milk as of today in India.
Yeah, so I will answer your question. I am also a dairy technologist by chance, so I can very well answer your question. See, it depends what you want to look at. Is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? Today, what we have achieved in milk production is phenomenal. And if you look at what NDDB is working on, for improving the quality of milk that is getting produced, for improving the yields, for improving the money that is getting given to the farmers. When we talk of adulteration, there will always be certain miscreants in the world. So, you know, can't be anything always right. So there will be some wrong associated, but then that amount is very low. If you are not maintaining your quality, you will not progress. If you ask me today, as Mr. Anil shared, 40 lakh liters of milk by Mother Dairy is being sold in Delhi NCR, and an equal amount is being sold by Amul in Delhi NCR. And believe me, the kind of quality process these kind of organizations go through, there is very little chance for any adulteration to happen. So I think that, you know, you should be, when you are buying the right quality from a right brand, you should not worry about the adulteration. Mr. Anil represents Ananda. I would say purity is in their slogan. So Ananda, the way Ananda has grown over last 10 years, just pick up. If it would not have been quality, it would have been, you know, some hanky-panky guy making milk products. He would not have grown that much. So it is the basis. The quality is the basis, and consumer is very smart. Today, you cannot fool a consumer. He is very smart to understand what he is drinking, what he is eating, what he is consuming. He can very well understand the quality of products and respond accordingly. So, Mr. Anil, if you would like to add something.
I'll just like to add, I was in Moga Nestle for 21 years, and I know the areas of Punjab where hormonal injections are there or pesticide is there. And by chance I got to work with Nestle Switzerland on, you know, the pesticide adulteration and the hormonal adulteration in milk, where actually we were making lactogen 1, lactogen 2 in cereals. So that samples were going to Switzerland for testing, and you know, the DDT and HCH level was coming high. So we were being questioned, you know, there is a problem in your area and you need to rectify that. And you know, hormonal injections are normally being used in the lean season to increase the buffalo or cow production. Now the tests have come for that, and especially all the big brands, their laboratories are equipped to test. We are testing it, and those kind of, you know, the culprits, even we are doing a traceability test to catch them, and now they are being taken through the law also. But these people keep on coming, I know that very well. Punjab is not such an area. If you go to Gwalior side, Morena side, MP side, other sides or surrounding Rajasthan, there is a much areas where adulteration happens. And I was shocked to see myself as a dairy technologist, in washing machine the milk was being prepared.
So see, those things, yeah.
Synthetic milk was being prepared. So now all the industry is equipped, all the major brands are equipped, and they do the testing, and they also understand the season when these things happen. Even liver part milk, even the butter get adulterated. Table butter get adulterated. You get an, you know, adulterated ghee of all brands. You get a adulterated butter of all brands. Let the festival comes and these things move. And I was in Bombay for 4 years. I got another technology there. They were putting injections, water injection in the milk pouches. That I had never seen in my life. You know, that kind of adulteration can happen. And we also have our cells in the industry. We keep on catching them and stopping them. So there are few miscreants, no doubt in that, but efforts were also on by industry to catch them.
The whole thing is that the way industry is growing, it cannot happen unless the quality of the products are there. And also, please throw some light on, I think around 28 to 40 tests happen before the milk.
You will not believe, we have almost 35 tests of a one tanker which is coming here. And ultimately, you know, that adds to quality cost of raw milk. And now to control quality from the field, we started giving incentives to the farmers where the microbiological level was high, good. You will not believe, I worked in Australian countries also where the SPC level is only 25,000, where in India it's 20 lakh. You can imagine how microbiologically our milk is bad. You as a person who knows the dairy, the MBRT time of a milk, we have a one tanker MBRT time 30 minutes, while there it was 4 hours. You go to South India where milk is being produced, their people, minds are not adulterated, their financial issues are not there. I'm surprised what cow milk we are getting for mother dairy, the MBRT time is more than 5 hours. And we are bringing from Tirupati to Meerut, then to whole Delhi through railways. By chilling it by 2 degrees centigrade, you can imagine, the quality of and the taste is being maintained by a big brands. Because otherwise, who will buy the product after spending so much of money?
So you mean to say we can do it, only the mind needs not be adulterated, right?
Thank you so much, panel members. Now, I would request the panel to kindly be on stage. And I would like to call on stage Mr. Anup Garg from eCubics. Anup, if you could kindly do the honors of felicitating this wonderful panel of experts here today. Thank you so much, Anup. Welcome to the stage. We'll start with Mr. Manas Mishra. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to Mr. Manas Mishra from Patanjali. Thank you so much, Manas, for your wonderful contribution to the panel session. Thank you. Moving next, Mr. Anil Bhutani from Ananda Dairy. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to Mr. Anil Bhutani from Ananda Dairy. Thank you so much, Anilji, for your wonderful contribution in the panel session. Moving next to Ms. Chayaa Rajappa from Nectar Fresh Foods. A big round of applause to Chayaa ji for her wonderful contribution in the panel session. Moving next to our honorable panel moderator, Mr. Vivek Arora from Access to Nutrition Initiative. A big round of applause to Vivek ji for wonderfully moderating the panel session. Moving next to Ms. Sujatha Jayaraman from Hindustan Unilever. A big round of applause to Sujatha ji for her wonderful contribution in the panel session. Moving next to Ms. Deepti Gulati from NIFTEM. A big round of applause to Deepti ji for her wonderful contribution in the panel session. And moving next to Major Vishal Bakshi, Managing Director from V.R.Industries Private Limited. A big round of applause to Major Bakshi for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. Request our honorable panel members to kindly step forward for a group photograph. And Anup, if you could also join them. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, big round of applause for this wonderful panel session on the state of future of the nutrition industry, and a plethora of industry experts are here.